a lot of people in software, they kind of shut it down in December and they say, you know what? It's the end of the year. It's between holidays, especially if you're in the US, Thanksgiving to Christmas. That's kind of a dead time. Let's shut it down. Let's just kind of prepare for next year. You do not want to do that. I want to talk about that today. I want to show you why you need to be aggressive here at the end of the year, why you need to crush December, and how you can do it. Let's dive in.
Welcome to SaaS-Story in the Making, the podcast that features the people who made the software world what it is today and the leaders who are shaping the future of technology. Here's your host, Matt Wolach.
Okay, welcome. Now, I know for those of you who listen a lot, you know that I often have a guest on the show, but every now and then I feel like there's some important stuff that I want to share with you. And so I do a solo session because I want to make sure that I get this across to you. So I want to make sure to share why you need to step up in December, why you need to take charge right here. Don't go easy. Don't just think, okay, it's the end of the year. We had Thanksgiving. We've got the holidays for Christmas and New Year's coming up. Don't let down. Now, before we get into that, make sure you're subscribed to the show. I love hearing from our subscribers. We've got a lot of great people out there. If you're in software, if you're looking to grow, if you're in any sort of early stage company, even middle stage, and you're wanting to accelerate and you want to close more deals, you want to get more leads, you want to get more revenue, you want to increase your valuation, whatever it is, definitely subscribe to the show because that is all the stuff we cover. And we go week after week after week, making sure that you have everything you need to accelerate and get ahead. So hit that subscribe. By the way, this past week, we crossed 4,000 subscribers. Super awesome. I love it. It's amazing hearing from you guys. Thank you for all the notes. And I want to see more. I want to make sure that we can help as many people as possible. So the one thing to help, if you like the show, rate it. Go on there on your app. If you're on Apple or if you're on Google or Spotify, wherever you are, please rate it. If you can give a rating, that would really, really make me feel good. That shows me, hey, we're doing something good. It also allows the app to show our show to other people. So thank you very much for those of you who have done that. And if you haven't yet, give a rating. I'd love to see what you think of what we're doing here. Okay. We talked about how some people, when they get into December, they kind of let their guard down a little bit. And they kind of say, you know what? We've done well. We've kind of grown a little bit this year. And, you know, obviously, if you're here in the US, Thanksgiving is a big holiday at the end of November. And because of that, people, you know, are taking time off and you come back and you're not quite as charged up as maybe the rest of the year. You're not quite as ready to get after it. And so you start to think, okay, well, let me just kind of ease off the gas a little bit. Let me pull back a little bit. I'm not going to go quite so hard as I usually do, especially with Christmas coming up. I know that not everybody celebrates Christmas, but if you're targeting companies that are very predominantly Christian, you're going to see a lot of people out of commission during the end of December. It's just the way it is. And of course, New Year's, a lot of people take time off. A lot of people spend time with family. And so we've got a lot of downtime. However, I have had incredible success in December. I have seen huge months in December. December has been some of my biggest months ever. Many of my companies in software, many of my companies have seen December be their biggest month. And most of my clients will say the same thing. Most of my clients tell me that December is huge for them. December is huge for them. And so a lot of people might be listening and they might be saying, why is December so big? You got to be kidding me. You got all the holidays, you got people kind of taking time off. Well, there's a couple of reasons why. We're going to dive into that. Now, before we do, if you are watching on YouTube, hit that like button. That really shows me that this is stuff that's helpful for you. Like I said, if you're elsewhere, hit the rating and make sure you're subscribed. Get that subscribe on there, get the notification. That way you're going to get notified every time a new show comes out so you can get actionable tips and help. Okay, why is December so big? And I'm telling you, like we would have December, it would be 25% of our year. So a huge percentage each month, by the way, is 8% of the year or so. So well over what it should be. December is huge for many. And there's two big reasons why. And if you play your cards right, and if you know these reasons why, you can use those to help yourself in sales. You can use those yourself to get your prospects to sign up in bigger numbers in this month. And if you can do that, now we're talking. If you can finish the year strong, that can be a big boost to your company. That can show you, your team, the market, you mean business in the next year. So come 2023, you can have more customers under your belt. You can be feeling good. You can feel confident, and you're ready to hit the ground running to have even a better year in 2023. Okay. So what are these reasons? Why do you, Matt, shut up. We hit it. Okay. We want to hit December. What is it that makes this month so big for a lot of software companies? Well, there's two big reasons. Number one, a lot of buyers, especially if they have any sort of size, even smaller companies, but I mean, the very tiniest of companies, it won't matter. But most of you out there are not targeting the tiniest of companies. You're at least targeting companies with some people, 10, 20, 30, 50 or more people within the company. Well, those companies, hopefully they've made profit and hopefully they've done well. And that might be why they're looking for something to help them, because maybe they've gotten to a new level. They have a new problem to solve. They have something else that they need to take care of. So they need software to help them solve it. And so they need to figure out how they're going to go against some of their taxes, right? They're going to balance out some of their taxes. And one of the things that a lot of companies think about at the end of the year is we need to put more expenses into this current year. We need to pay for more things because we had a good year, we had profit, and we want to offset our taxes. We want to put more expenses into this year so we don't have to pay as big of a tax. A lot of companies think this way. Even if you're not thinking this way, I promise you, a lot of companies are thinking, what can we buy this year that is going to help us out so that we don't have to pay nearly as many taxes? It's going to help offset taxes. And so a lot of companies, they want to make purchases. And guess what? Software is one of the most popular things they can buy. So a lot of companies want to fit a software purchase into the current calendar year so that that payment, that money comes out against their taxes and they can feel better that they don't have to pay as much profit. Or sometimes it balances completely. Okay, they can put all their profit back into your product. Now, if you know this, you can start to play on that. You can start to talk to your buyer. You can start to talk to your contact and say, hey, is that important to you? Does your CFO, does your finance team want to get an expense into this year? Because if so, we can make it happen. Make sure you can make it happen. Make sure you can get the invoice out. Make sure you get it done. But if so, absolutely go at that. If that's something that they're feeling, if that's something maybe they don't know about and you want to educate them, you want to help them understand, then talk to them about it. Say, hey, did you have a good year? Yeah. Hey, did you have lots of profit? Yeah. Are you wanting to offset that profit by putting an expense into this year? And if so, I can help you with that. We can make that happen. So number one is a lot of people want to put an expense into the current calendar year so they don't have to pay the taxes. You can use that in your sales. Okay. Number one is that. What's number two? Number two is the way a lot of buyers think is they start to think about, okay, if we're going to implement a new software product, if we're going to put this into our workflow, we have to change things up. Obviously, it's going to make us better overall, but initially, there's going to be a little bit of a change, a little adjustment, and maybe even within our own systems, we're going to have this versus that. And sometimes they overlap in terms of start date versus when they actually cut the old system off. And so the way a lot of buyers think, and it's not always logical, I will tell you, it's not logical. The last one, logical. This one, not so logical. But the way a lot of buyers think is they think, you know what a good time to start a new software is? A good time to start the new software is the beginning of the year. We start at the beginning of the calendar year so that we can just hit the ground running from that point. And in the new year is the new software. We're done with the old software. Okay, so a lot of buyers are thinking that it'd be great to start fresh in the new year. Now, we can use that, right? Now, by the way, it's not logical. It's definitely not logical, especially if you're signing up in December. Most of you have an onboarding and implementation training process that takes longer than these few weeks that we have left. And I know I apologize if you're listening to this later on. I know a lot of people, they're messaging me months after the show was actually recorded, and and released, but this is being recorded and released really quickly because I wanted to get this out. If you're listening to it right after release, it is December. If it's in the future, I apologize, but just remember this for next December, okay? So a lot of buyers want to put the expense into last year, but a lot of buyers also want to start fresh with the new product. They say, okay, January 1, 2, 3, whatever the first real day is, boom, new product. We can use that. And we say, listen, would it help you to start this fresh in the new year, to have a new product, get this in place, and get rocking in the new year? Yes, it would. Okay, great. Let's work backwards then. If that's the case, and we want to be live in early January, let's make sure that we get you done with training by the end of December. Let's make sure that we get the onboarding happen before that. We get the integration to happen before that. We work backwards. That means we need to sign up this week. Let's get you signed up this week so that we can get all that stuff to happen. We can hit that ground running 2023. I am telling you, I have used this so many times. Buyers absolutely love it. It makes logical sense to them, even though it's not actually logical, but they feel like it's a great way to start a new software right there in the new year. And when you can talk to them and explain, hey, that would be a good time to get started, and work backwards, make sure you do that, because otherwise they'll be like, yeah, I'll start January 1. No. We want you here in December. We got to make sure it gets set up. We got to make sure we process everything. Got to make sure all the onboarding, training, implementation, everything. Okay? So you can convince them to get it going. Now, we all know that sometimes it takes longer, and those sessions and trainings and onboardings and integrations can take longer. So it might not always work out, especially if they sign up into December, especially if they get towards the end and they click yes, okay, and they sign up. It's not always going to get started January 1, January 2. But we can get that as part of their emotional motivation to get started. Another thing that I've used in December to kind of help them realize that they want to do it, we've done discounting. Hey, we're doing an end of year discount, end of December discount, Christmas discount, whatever it is. Or maybe do a bonus. Hey, for Christmas, we're offering a bonus as our present to you. Everybody who signs up by Christmas, by the end of the year, whatever it is, you're going to get this in addition to your sign up. You're going to get this discount off of the cost. You're going to get this. If you sign up for 2 years, maybe you get 30% off. If you sign up for 1 year, you're going to get this. If you do this, you can come out with specials. You can come out with discounts. We have done this so successfully. For those of you who follow me, and if you follow me on Twitter, by the way, if you don't follow me on Twitter, definitely go follow me on Twitter right now. I'm putting a lot of stuff out there that you don't see anywhere else. Okay, I'm putting a lot of tips, actionable advice on Twitter. Definitely go follow. It's at Matt_Wolach. At Matt_Wolach. Anyway, if you follow me there, you'll notice that I put some stuff out. I talked about this exact thing. I talked about what you can do to get these signups. And I talked about how I got 142 new closed deals in 1 month. Those are 142 new closed deals. Okay, these were not little tiny deals, and it was not my first month doing it. Okay, it wasn't like, hey, we launched a product, boom, 142. No, this was years after perfecting process, years after making sure we had a great team in place to manage everything. So all that had happened. Nonetheless, it was December. December was the month. December was where that happened. Because people want to get the expense into the previous year, because people want to start fresh, and because we had a discount that motivated them to make that happen. And it happened big time. We were closing at an insane close rate. I think my close rate that month was 83, 84%. Okay. That is killer. So, December, do not let this month go. You have an opportunity right now to finish 2022 in a big way. Do not let it go. Do not let up. Do not think, oh man, I just had a big meal and I ate all these cookies, these Christmas cookies. It's amazing. I'm just going to chill out. I'm just going to call mom. No, don't do that. I know it's easy. I know that there's motivation or lack of motivation sometimes. I know that it can be a tough month with family and things going on. You got to go buy presents for the kids. You got to do that. Please push. Please make December special. Come 2023, you'll be so glad you did, because now you have a bigger foundation. You have more customers you can build on. You have more confidence to know that you can deliver. and you will have an amazing 2023. I hope that that happens for you, and I want to be there to follow along. So if it goes well, send me a note. Say, Matt, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. By the way, you can find me on LinkedIn, you can find me on Twitter, just DM me. If it doesn't go well, send me a note then as well. Say, hey, I tried this, try that. I don't know why, but something didn't work right, or they didn't love this, or they said this. Send me a note there. And I'll see if I can offer some advice. I'll see if I can help. I'm happy to help you anyway. For those of you who don't know, I have a coaching program where I work personally with startup and early stage companies who are in the software world, B2B software, to help them accelerate. And we've had some ridiculous results with many of our clients. Okay. We've had people closing at a huge level. This past week, Will, one of my clients, told me he's 100%. His 11 for his last 11 sales calls. Before that, they were at tiny percentage close rates. When you know if you understand the right formula, it works. Okay. So if you want to accelerate, if you want to get a bunch of deals closed, if you want to drive a bunch of leads, get people excited within your community and your audience, and close a lot of deals, talk to me. Send me a note. Let's get you closing a lot of software deals. We can make it happen. I hope this helps. December is going to be awesome. Okay. Let's do it together. I can't wait to see you there. Take care.